Yeah, son shit, y'all ready?
I hope y'all are. This episode, we in June now, so you know what it is. Gay Pride Month. We gonna do what we do. We gonna talk about Lucy Hicks Anderson. That's all y'all need to know. It's gonna be a dope show. I'm not gonna lie. This might be a little longer than normal. We are now gonna start implementing the times codes, because the last two episodes was talking about a lot of stuff, and I'm looking at the time like, oh, it took a minute to actually get to the thing, and I don't know how many. Salute to you guys who did ride with us on that, man, because like I said, it was a I even understand. Sometimes I zone out and I start getting on the red, and things happen. I ain't gonna lie. This will be another one of those moments where we got to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? First and foremost, salute to Sony. I saw the Spider-Man joint. Spider-Man across the Spider-Universe. Spider-Verse or whatever, however they say that. I saw that joint. Look, Marvel has been trying this whole multiverse thing for a minute. Spider-Verse got it, locked it down. I think they're doing a better job at it than Marvel. Salute. And it's just one character. I get it. It's just one character. First of all, you know how dope you are to have multiple Spider-Mans like that? There's like, what? Multiple Spider-Mans, multiple Supermans, multiple Batmans, multiple Flashes. Just on some, like, many universes cross-pollinizing with each other. Like, it's only the popular characters. I think there's an X-Men that's doing it, where there's like one whole joint where when you go over, it's all black X-Men. You know what I'm saying? And it's not like it's reversed where like, okay, Storm's white. Nah, she's still black. It's all black X-Men. Mind blowing. Anyway, this is a dope movie. This is a great movie. That's why I had to say it, man. We saw it last night, and it was dope. It was a dope movie. I'm like, yo. And it's one of those movies, most of the crowd that when we saw it, most of the crowd were white people. When his mom talks to him, that's us as black people. That's us as brown people. You know what I'm saying? People of color understood that conversation. People of color have had that conversation to their kids. Their parents have told us, our parents have told us that. You know what I'm saying? As homies, we have told each other that. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's going to be like that. You're going to feel like they don't want you here. You here. Do what you got to do. You know what I'm saying? That's that thing. And, you know what I'm saying? On the surface, it's a mother talking to her son. Everybody's riding. Everybody was rocking. But for those who knew, that was that conversation. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what's cool about this whole Miles Morales thing. It's a different layer to these comic book movies that's not Black Panther. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is a different vibe from Black Panther. This is a whole nother level, and it's cool. And one thing so far that I'm also seeing is there's not a lot of that hate, woke talk. And maybe it's because it's so coded and it's so low key. Like, look back, when you really look at this, the people who have a major part in this movie, at least this movie, are all minorities, with the exception of Peter Parker and Spider-Gwen's father, because Spider-Gwen's a chick, and we're gonna get into that in a whole nother level, in a minute. Spider-Gwen's a chick, Miles is Hispanic and black, the Spider-Punk dude is a black dude, black British dude. You know what I'm saying? They got the India Spider-Man. Yo, my man Spider-Man 99 or whatever, the future dude, he's a Spanish guy. The shorty who's doing the AI Spider-Man, that's a sister. What you got? Spider-Woman. That's a sister, and she pregnant. All joints, man. Like, it's a very brown, minority-based joint, and it's dope. And it's weird at the same time, because, like, I ain't gonna say weird, because you forget. And that's the coolness of it. And that's probably the reason why a lot of people aren't huffing and puffing, because you forget that and you just enjoy the ride of Spider-Man. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to do in a world where everybody, I think, is so busy looking for the the things to hate on. Oh man, there's too many females. Oh, there they go with that woman empowerment. Oh man, so we just gotta diversify everything all the time, man. This is crazy. Why we always gotta... Again, so far I'm not hearing a lot of that. Right now, everybody's going, this is one of the hottest movies of the summer. This might be one of the best movies of the year. Definitely, hands down, one of the best animated movies of the year. That's all I'm hearing. Everybody's geeking out and can't wait to see the part 2. This is dope. Like I said, I'm not giving no spoilers. What I will say, though, is this. And I guess, looking, I didn't pay attention. So when I do go back and see it again, or however I end up watching it a second time, I'm going to have to peep the game. I was unaware that Spider-Gwen had a lot of LGBT joints jumping. See what I'm saying? Somebody said like Shorty might be trans. I don't know. That part of the game I'm not aware of. Like I said, I wasn't really sitting in front. Hold on, let me take it back. Here's the thing. There's a chick that is out here, who was really trying to race bait. Maybe not purposely. Maybe that was just the way she saw it. That's the way she was feeling. But she was out here race bait. Said that your boy Spider-Man 99 was hating on Miles Morales because of who he was, his ethnicity, I don't know how to say, his race. We gonna keep it that way. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, yo, but he's Spanish too. So what was the... And there was a whole lot of little chirps and stuff coming from her end about race. I follow the chick. So I'm like, and it threw me off because at the time I didn't see the movie. So I'm like, now I'm watching the movie. And I'm looking at this joint. I'm like, I don't see half of the stuff that she's talking about. You know what I'm saying? I really don't. I see bits and pieces. I see the actions that she was referring to. I don't see the racial component that she so openly rocked with. And I'm just like, yo, where is all this coming from? You know, again, some people look at stuff different. It's all good, but it's a dope movie. It's a good movie. If y'all ain't seen it, if y'all ain't into comic book movies, by all means, cool. But it's a dope movie, and it's crazy because I think when I look at her situation, the shorty who was talking about the racial component, I think a lot of that is one of those things where there's a whole different society for the nerds and the comic book geeks. You know what I'm saying? Black nerds are calling themselves blurs and this and that. Like, it's such and I was not aware of this until I started really finding myself getting caught up in a lot of stuff. Because, yeah, I stayed in trouble a lot as a kid. So, can't play video games. You can't do too much of anything. So it's read a bunch of real books, read a bunch of comic books. Real books, comic books. Draw a little bit. That was my joint. That was it. Had my radio on, my AM station that played hip hop. And, you know what I'm saying? It would cut in and out if I could pick, because at the time I had like a little radio joint, little boombox, little portable joint. So you had to, you know what I'm saying, throughout the day, put it in another part of the room to get the signal rocking. That was my teenage years. Because I stayed from like 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I stayed in trouble. I was always out here wilding out. Fast forward, as time goes on, there's a society. You know what I'm saying? Now there's a society you can talk comic book with. You can talk, you know what I'm saying, Star Wars and Star Trek with. You can talk, you know what I mean? Music too. You can talk, yo, you know what song sound like? Yo, you know what's crazy? This song sounds like this song. You know what song came out first? Yo, I ain't know that so-and-so wrote this for so-and-so. You know what I'm saying? I ain't know that so-and-so came through and he just, you know what I'm saying, rocked out the drums real quick for this song right here and bounced out. Now we get to talk that level. The problem becomes it still gets weird and murky and racist. I didn't know there was racism in cosplaying. I didn't know there was racism in just being on some super geek stuff. But like I said, now I see it. I see it with dudes by just the comments, the going back and forth with comments. You know, and it's wow. So maybe a lot of what she was huffing and puffing about was also some stuff that she goes through. I can't speak on her like that because I don't know, but I know this is a good movie. And I know that if people are looking for that, it might be something going on against them. I do know if people are looking for that, it might be something going on with them. But that's all I'm saying. But yo, it's a good movie. Check it out. You know, like I said, if you're into that, you are. If you're not, you're like, yo, I ain't got time for that, man. What do I look like out here? Superhero cartoons, superhero movies, superhero TV shows. Give me something I can hold on to. Give me something I can sink my teeth into. I feel you. It is what it is. I'm just saying this joint was dope. You know what I mean? Another thing I really need to talk about, because this kind of fell in my lap, right? Like maybe earlier this week, Sunday or Monday. I happened to look up at it, just looking at some stuff, and then it just, boom, dropped in my lap. I'm going to play this piece first, and then we're going to come back and talk to it. Yeah, that's right. We got little inserts and all that. Let's play this clip real quick, and then we can come back and talk about it. Let's do it.
I have a book here in front of me called Our Skin that has been endorsed by Nacy. And I'm going to read exactly what this book says. You guys might find it interesting. A long time ago, way before you were born, a group of white people made up an idea called race. They sorted people by skin color and said that white people were better, smarter, prettier, and they deserved more than everybody else. This would be taught if we socialize our pre-K system. This would be taught.
Do you disagree with that findings in the book?
1,000%. How about we teach Jesus loves me? How about this? In teaching Jesus loves the little children, the lyrics go, red and yellow, black and white, they're all precious in our sight. Now, which one would you think would be better? I'll ask everybody on the panel, which is better to teach? This, that is a story that was made up to teach our kids, 3-year-olds who have no idea what race is, now all of a sudden is being taught that white people said this as a truth. Someone pointed me that this being a truth, that white people developed race, that white people developed that all of a sudden that was our word that we developed. By the way, I'm Cherokee, Native American. I think we have experienced a little bit of racism before in my life, Chairman.
Senator Mullen.
So I ask everybody on the panel, which one is better to teach? This or the Jesus Loves Me lyrics? Ma'am, I'll start out here. Just tell me which one. I don't have time for an explanation.
What I'll tell you, Senator Mullen, is that what children in these early years develop their identity. It's important that our classrooms are.
I'm just asking which one is better.
Let her answer the question, please.
My question is this.
She will answer it if she sees fit.
Which one is better?
It's important that children's identity and language and culture are recognized.
That's not answering my question.
And that's what creates strong executive function.
If you don't want to answer my question, that's fine. Let's move on down the panel. Which one is better to be taught? This book or the Jesus Loves Me lyrics? That says everybody's skin doesn't matter. They're all precious in His sight.
I think it's important to teach that all children are seen and valued for who they are, and that's
so. But when you teach this, don't you think that other people are start saying that white kids are to blame?
I think it's important.
It's exactly what they're going to teach.
Check out my man. Like, yo, first of all, here's a part that's gonna shock a lot of people. I'm rocking with him on a little bit of this. Mark Wayne Mullen, I'm rocking with him for a little bit, just a tad bit. And when I say a tad bit, it's the beginning. I feel him on that. We should not be out here having children being taught about slavery at that young of an age. If you need to use those kind of words and for those who don't know, it's a real children's book with children's book type drawings. If you need to dumb it down for children, I'm saying maybe 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We shouldn't be teaching them that. We shouldn't be teaching them about slavery. I didn't learn about slavery till 3rd grade, and I can tell you how it was in 3rd grade. It was Europeans went to Africa, had trapped Africans, brought them to a new land unwillingly, and forced them into labor. That was basically the gist of it, which is by all means the truth. You know what I'm saying? Europeans were no longer cool with Native Americans, the Indians, and pushed them westward to take over the eastern border. You know what I'm saying? Again, that's the gist of it. I'm not giving you quote for quote, but that was basically in 3rd grade. That was how it was explained to us. You know what I'm saying? They battled the Indian for land to set up shop and make the 13 colonies. They had went out here and grabbed Africans and brought them to a country without their consent and forced them into labor. Again, nobody's using words like evil. Nobody's doing any of that. It's just the actual fact in 3rd grade. You know what I'm saying? You can formulate, and that's just enough to get you through the history. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Did the Africans want to come to America? No. What were the Africans, you know what I'm saying, turned into? Slaves. Were the slaves forced to work? Yes. Simple stuff. That was just regular history. Blah, blah, blah. We weren't taught on 4th grade, you get a little more to it. 5th grade, you get a little more into it. 6th grade, 7th, you know what I'm saying? Next thing you know, by 5th grade, it becomes a part of oh snap, because now they're telling you more. Now by 5th grade, it's a little more to it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, and people were trying to, like, even in 3rd grade, we knew about those who were against slavery. We were taught about Harriet Tubman. And again, it was just because these are footnotes. 5th grade, now we're getting into it. We are getting into the laws being made. They're telling us about the 3/5 of a human. In the law, like in 5th grade, we're being taught about the acts and all that stuff and the targeting and the bounties on Native Americans. We're being told about what can happen to slavery. We're being told about the stuff that they got going on in Jamaica, the riots, the upheaval in Jamaica and the upheaval in Haiti. We're being told about all of that. We're being told about the lynchings and the burnings. We're being told about all the crazy things. Because again, in 3rd grade, flashback to 3rd grade, it's like, hey, they were slaves. They were freed. Abraham Lincoln freed the slaves. Yay. Go fast forward a little bit, and it's like, okay, civil rights movement, Martin Luther King. Yay. You know, by 5th grade, now all of these are connected dots. These are dots. Now, these are connections. Oh, matter of fact, these are the same people. This isn't like some different joints. This is the generational path. We were slaves. We fought for freedom. We were slaves. We were escaping for freedom, down south mostly. You were escaping up north for freedom. If you got caught, who knows what would happen. Civil War happens. Slaves were free. Abolishment. But then the Jim Crow came into life. Now we're learning about Jim Crow. We're learning about the building of systemic racism. We're learning about all of this stuff by 5th grade. You know what I mean? Now you have a little tension in your chest. You know what I'm saying? And again, it still goes back to, but it wasn't all white people. Because you had this group of white people helping. You've always had a group of white people helping. So it wasn't, ooh, all white people are evil. That was just, you understood. And just like, and it was crazy because 5th grade, salute to my 5th grade teacher, Miss Kelly. She was like 50 something around that time, around my 5th grade year. She was pushing 50 then. She was like, yo, it wasn't all white people. There were some, and she was like, there were white people who were taught to be racist, but they didn't understand why. They couldn't figure it out. So those were the white people who didn't become their parents. They were the turning point on generational racism. 5th grade, mind blowing. We knew nothing about generational racism. Matter of fact, my 5th grade teacher, Miss Kelly, was just wild because she would also tell us about generational welfare. You know what I'm saying? She was like, yo, if you're on welfare and your grandparents were on welfare and that's a system that's a cycle that needs to be broken. If they didn't finish school, if your parents didn't finish school, if their parents didn't finish school, and their parents probably never went to school, be part of breaking that cycle. That's why even now you get generations in 2023 where they're like, yo, this is the first person in our family that ever went to college. Yo, this is the first person in our family that ever finished high school. 2023. Graduating students of 2023. Graduating students of 2023 are now part of that cycle bending, cycle breaking, and turning a corner for their generation. Generational for their lineage, you know what I mean, their legacy. So to hear a 5th grade teacher go, yeah, there were white people who didn't know. In my 7th grade, we started looking at old video. I always tell people about the I don't know if it was ABC or CBS. I know it wasn't NBC. I don't know if it was ABC or CBS, where they were talking to the white teenagers during these times of desegregation. And you had one group of white kids who were like, yeah, because my daddy say they bad, so they're bad. Forget them. You know what I'm saying? F them. Middle finger to the all. You know what I'm saying? My daddy say, and my daddy's daddy say, they ain't worth it. They ain't this, they that, they boom, boom, boom. Hostility in the voice, anger in the voice. And then the question becomes, have you ever actually met one? Have you ever actually engaged in a conversation with one? No. You hate on people that you've never? Well, my daddy said it. My daddy's daddy said it. Bam. Then you turn to another group of people. How do you feel about it? You know what I'm saying? I've never met one, but from the few times that we've seen him on TV, or the few times you see him here when you're going somewhere and you see him on their side of town, they look like I look. They move like I move. They look like they play the same games. We listen to the same music. Like, they were going to the same shows on different sides of the room. And that was the generation that either cut ties with the hatred that their family was incorporating, or they continued the movement. And it's wow. That was just a thing that we did. So yeah, you shouldn't be out here trying to teach these kids, these young children, about racism, because they can't grasp it. And then cuting it up and all that and making it pretty for them definitely doesn't help. Look at VeggieTales. When you look at VeggieTales and you got these little kids, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you be like, yeah. And then you bring in the real people. Be like, yeah, so you know about the story of the 10 Commandments? Yeah, the cucumber had to go up to the mountain. The cucumber? No, that was Moses. Well, I saw it was a cucumber. I don't know who Moses is. That's in their head now, because that's what they were taught. So you teach these kids the cuteness of slavery, you're going to actually end up hurting the situation. That's where I agree with my man. Now, the other part of it is, I see where his sensibility is. His whole thing is, he doesn't want us as Americans to teach to hate white people at a young age, which is probably the most American thing in the world, starting young to teach hate. You know what I'm saying? You know how wild it is to see 5-year-old kids hate another group of people? Who does that? Who's sitting around with their hatred that hard that they're going to instill that into their children at young ages? And his whole thing is, he doesn't want people to feel like that towards the white people. And white people have been doing this forever. Forever. That is just what they do. I know white people who have been like, yo, my people have been telling me this is about these Mexicans, this about these black people, this about the Africans, this about the Middle Easterners, this about the Japanese, the Chinese, the Vietnamese, all of them. And as time went on and I found myself in a school around all of these people, I didn't get it. I could not figure out where the hate came from. We're all good. You can't even fathom how that is a whole thing. You know what I mean? Like, to teach hatred at such an age, at a young age. I think his only thing is, I don't want you to teach it about white people. We've been teaching it about black people forever. We've been teaching it about Hispanics forever. We do this history thing, y'all. We do this history thing. We were just last month talking about the Chinese Act, the Chinese inclusion. They had to make a rule to include Chinese people, because they had a rule to keep Chinese people out of stuff. Same thing for Hispanics. Definitely same thing for black people. Same thing for the Native Americans. That is you know what I'm saying? And their issue is, we don't want you to teach that white people are evil. Change the game. And here's the thing, that was back then. The problem is, growing up, when you grow older, you realize nothing's really changed. It's still the same old stuff. And I think that's one of those things where That's what they don't want people to really do. That's the whole point of trying to like rearrange a lot of this history. They don't want you to realize it's still the same thing. It's still going on. And it's like, instead of trying to hide the past, why not switch the present to make a better future? That's the problem. And that's always been a problem. I say it all the time. The Civil War came, the Civil War ends. Slaves are free. That means it's the closing of a book. The new book should be written, a new history, a new start, a do-over, a reset for America should have started, including black people. And if done right, make amends for what has also been done to the Native Americans. Make amends for what has also been done to the Hispanics and the Mexicans. And as time goes on when it comes to the Asians, then now we gotta fix that problem too. Our bad. We're wrong on that. And keep it moving. Learn from the mistakes. Build as a country. And keep it moving. What happened is, it didn't become a closed book, new book. It just became closed chapter, next chapter, Civil War ends. Boom. Civil rights. Boom. We still out here. The civil rights comes in the late 60s. Fair Housing Act comes in the 70s. We're still trying to figure out how to make things fair. There's still things unfair. The critical race theory is a late 60s, 70s, 80s thing where they examine systemic racism in its fullest. And they go, oh, this still is going on. Hey, this is still going on. I don't know how they co-opted and turned that into something else, but that was always what it was. The examination of how racism is still in play today, whatever their today was. Again, 60s, late 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. That was what that was. And then when they brought it back in the in the 2020s, late 2010s and 2020s, it became something else. Somehow they switched it. The game has never stopped being played. And what these politicians are doing are going, oh, I don't want y'all to talk about it to these kids, and then they go hate white people. Here's the thing, they're not going to hate white people. They're going to do what most people do, including white people, hate the system. Greatest moment in time, and I remember talking to somebody and they didn't understand what I was trying to say. Nancy Pelosi's daughter had a documentary about the far right on HBO and the NASCAR dads, and there was a dude who broke out in tears who's like, I've been here my whole life, I can't get a loan to open a business, but they got people from China coming over here and they get these loans and then they open up their business, they get these nice houses, they do all this and all that. Been here my whole life, that opportunity is never given to me, would never be given to me. I remember telling them, I'm like, yo, B, you know what's wild? That's the same thing that our people say. I heard my aunt has said that many times. My father has said that many times. My OGs have said that many times. Oh man, they get them loans. I can't get a loan. I can't get a house. These dudes went out here and got a house. They get the car. They get the building. They out here with a business. Oh man, that's crazy. I gotta be a foreigner to get all this. NASCAR dad saying it. Homie up the street in the projects saying the same thing. Huffing and puffing about the same things. We all, look, y'all know a gang of white Americans that huff and puff about the same things black Americans huff and puff about. The same things Hispanic Americans huff and puff about. But we can never come together because there's always some corny thing that keeps us divided. And America knows that. So it's not, oh, they're going to hate white people. They're going to hate the system. Because the system hasn't changed. Now, the sad part is, who's in charge of the system? White people. Who huffs and puffs to fight to keep the system the same? White people most of the time. Not all the time, most of the time. A lot of the time. Because even black people find it more beneficial to play the race card. You know what I'm saying? The divide and conquer. In their minds, it's better. Yo, yeah. Boom, 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 too. And it's like, yo, there's more similarities than you know. And the white people are evil. Okay, all right, yeah, I hear you. The white people are evil, blah, blah, blah. Bam, bam, bam. Yeah, I got what you're saying. Yo, salute to all these people who love to be like, yo, I don't even deal with the white man. What I do is I deal with my urban league, and then they get me this spot, and then that's how I got my building. I did this. That's how I got my little permit to do this. I dealt with the NAACP, and I don't be dealing with the man. They dealt with the man. They were the liaison for that situation. So technically, you're still dealing with the man. Boom. But again, anyway, I feel where he's coming from. I get it. I understand it. But we need to talk about slavery. That's the part that I don't think people understand. You need to talk about slavery because our country has been founded on so many messed up things. You know what I'm saying? Like the hypocrisy to fight for freedom and independence and still have slaves. You know what I'm saying? The hypocrisy to fend off people trying to take over, trying to invade and take over where you are, when you just did that to the Native Americans. That's, you know what I'm saying? Like, our country is built on contradictions and evil sometimes. Not sometimes. Our country is built on hypocrisy, contradictions, and pure evil. And sometimes we just have to acknowledge it. Like, yeah, we was messed up that time. Yeah, we was bugging at that time. We was bugging. I don't know what we were thinking as a country, and move on. Apologize, and that's a whole other thing too. Man, why we gotta be apologizing? I was with my people. You're not apologizing for your people. You're apologizing as a politician on behalf of the government. Not Mr. Johnson, whose granddaddy probably wasn't even thinking about politics and probably just a farmer somewhere in the middle of nowhere, or had a whatever kind of job, or was a mailman or whatever, or he served in the military. No. We're talking about you as a politician on behalf of the American government. Somehow you guys like the people like to turn it into something else. And that becomes an impersonal issue too. Like they literally are taking personal attacks. Like, come on, man, fall back on that. Anyway, that's just my take on it, man. I'm sorry if this is a little long-winded. Like I said, we're gonna time code a lot of this up and get into some other stuff. Let's do what we do. It's that time. No, we still got to. Lucy Hicks Anderson. Lucy Hicks Anderson. Not the first, by no means the first, but a transgender woman who found herself in the spotlight because the government was suing her. That is look, her story is wild. We do a little bit of it, but please look her up. It is a wild story. You know what I'm saying? We also find ourselves talking about hip-hop, because this is, not only is this Gay Pride Month, this is also Black Music Month. And with 50 years of hip-hop, now I sound like I'm about to do a sponsorship. And with 50 years of hip-hop, you too can get the ultimate 50 years of hip-hop streaming service thing. I don't know. Like, Sirius has one whole channel dedicated to 50 years of hip-hop. That's right. I know you going, hey, but don't they got like 4 or 5 channels? Nah. One channel giving you all kind of joints. Word up, West Coast joints, down South joints, old joints, super new joints. 50 years. And then crazy conversations with people throughout for 50 years. I don't know. Spotify has something for 50 years. Not that joint where they were like the 50 greatest beats, because that's garbage. Don't listen to that. 50 years of this hip-hop. Greatness. Anyway, this is also Black Music Month. And we're going to be doing stories, little history joints for hip-hop. So we're going to get a quick little hip-hop history, hip-hop music. More so the music, not like yo, B-boy, it was this time and nah. More so just the music element. And And then we're going to give you the gay pride moment. That's the Black History Moment joints that we're going to do. And this one right here, this was about Def Jam and the Juice Crew and how they bobbed and weaved together. And it's one of those crazy things that they went from rival. They were rivals at one point, but there's so many people who are connected. You know what I'm saying? More so Russell Simmons and Mr. Magic. Rest in peace to Mr. Magic. Mr. Magic and Marley Marl. And to see a lot of the inner workings and the cross-pollination between their artists and stuff like that, and these labels, Def Jam, Cold Chillin', it's remarkable. For those who don't like it, if hip-hop isn't your thing, I get it. But for those who are about this hip-hop culture, and if you're old enough to remember, that was it right there. You had Def Jam, you had Cold Chillin', you had the Juice Crew, you had everybody that was on Def Jam. Then you had, and a lot of times people overlook this, Herbie Lovebug crew, because Herbie Lovebug's crew was official. You got Salt and Pepper, Kid and Play, Dana Dane, Kwame, Antoinette, I can't think of her name, Sweet Tea. I think maybe 2 other artists. I might not be right on top with the other 2 artists, but I think there were 2 more artists. I might be wrong, who knows? But I'm just saying, they had a bunch of joints jumping. He was out here rocking a bunch of joints, and it was just dope to see that he was also in the mix. Howie T was also in the mix. Yeah, it was just, it was a crazy time. And this is pre-Hit Squad and all that. NWA over there on the West Coast, the NWA Posse. For those who don't remember, there was a posse. It was the NWA Posse, which looked like a massive group of people before it just dropped down to like 5 dudes. Yeah, man, look, this is what we do. This is how we get down. Thank y'all for listening. Like I said, we're gonna start time coding these. I might even, when I get a chance to, go back and time code the past joints also. Thank y'all for rocking with us, man. All over the globe, East Coast, West Coast, worldwide, Lost Boys. We ain't playing. This is what we do. 1, 2. I'm playing now. Anyway, thank y'all for rocking with us. Yo, know your history. Don't be out here. If you are a person of color and you are teaching American history to young children, let them know that was the past, so they don't have some type of animosity jumping off. Because it's not about that. It's about understanding that this is what America used to be. What America says it wants to be. At some point in time, we could probably wholeheartedly, 100%, unconditionally be. That's the thing. You know what I'm saying? On paper, we are one of the greatest countries, if not the greatest country. In practice, we are not that. You know what I'm saying? In theory, we are great. In practice, we are not that. You know what I'm saying? And we need to figure out how to become that. You know what I'm saying? How to become that. And again, it's not about, to me, it's not about reparations. It's not about anything. It's not even about being an apologist, being all out. No, it's about going, we need to start over. We need a hard reset. We need to do everything over. You know what I'm saying? Let the old ways die. Start anew right now. And yeah, that means you might have to vote all the old people out. That means you might have to figure out with real geniuses, real minds, how to get a better healthcare system, how to get a better workplace system, how to do a lot of things, how to definitely make this country a better country. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be hard, but it's going to be a thing. And so, yeah, when you teach your children all of American history. The good, the bad. Because the thing about it is, for all the bad stuff, all the negative stuff that has happened in our American history brings us here. I mean, it's sad to say lots of lives have been lost to make America America. Lots of lives. We have, as a country, we have literally wiped out whole tribes of Native Americans to make America. That is heartbreaking. That is gut-wrenching. But the other side of it is, this is America. This is, you know what I'm saying, the greatest country on the planet. That's the other side of it. Like the evil that had to be done to make this great nation. And again, yeah, you don't blame the dude that you see today. You blame the way things were conducted in the past. You know what I mean? All the slaves that have died trying to be free. All the homes that were broken up. You know what I'm saying? That is where you talk about that. All the lives that were lost in the homes that were broken up and the purposely placing people in a bad way who were Asian, who were Middle Eastern, Indian from India, Hispanic. That's what we did. The Irish and the Italians had a hard time for a hot minute also. For all those lives that were lost to get this country to where it is. We need to just, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes you need to just take all that and understand what the past was and figure out how we can make a better future. That's all I'm saying, man. That's all I'm saying. Why is that such a hard thing? Again, some people do not want that to be. And again, a lot of that is, if we as the people stop allowing the little goofball stuff to jump off and separate us and just overlook that, it'll be a different situation, man. It'll be a different situation. Y'all, if y'all don't know about Fred Hampton, learn about Fred Hampton. Fred Hampton had America scared because he connected a Hispanic group, a white group, and the Black Panthers together, fighting the government, fighting oppression, fighting all the disadvantages that are laid upon people's footsteps purposely. You know what I'm saying? He was like, yo, we going through the same thing. Why are we gonna let the skin color be the dividing point for us? They had to get rid of that brother. They targeted that man. The game is always going to be the game. And again, it had nothing to do with white people. It's the system. That's all I'm saying. I done spoke about this too much. Time to get into the actual episode. And again, hopefully a lot of y'all, I'm not gonna say hopefully, no, let's keep that real. Hopefully a lot of y'all just listen from the very beginning to the very end. And for those who were like, nah, yo, as soon as he said I could time skip, I skip. It's all good too. I'm cool with all the listeners who are listening, and it's always dope. Whoever it is who is out there in Ireland, yo, salute to Ireland. Like, yo, I always see Ireland. You know what I'm saying? Salute to Ireland. Thank you for rocking with me. Boom. I don't know who you are, who any of you are. If it's multiple people, thank y'all for rocking with me though. Salute. East Coast, West Coast, worldwide. East Coast, West Coast, and worldwide. Lost Boys. The first way I said it was so weird. Let's go. Yes. Don't try to play me out. You can't play with my yo-yo. Oh my, hey, don't act like that joint won't official. Remember that? Yo, she was just like, okay. Yo-yo probably was into the sexy joint too for a hot minute. And that was only until Roxanne said her booty won't real. Then it was like, oh, made everybody heartbreak. Like, no. But then when you saw her in, I forgot what movie it was. She was somebody's girlfriend. It was like, yo, okay, never mind this. Yeah, we might be alright. It is what it is. But you know what I'm saying? This is what we do, man. This is how we get down. This is why we get down. This is what we do. hip hop. We just rocking some joints, man. I'm throwing bars at y'all all day long. Word up. This is for them dudes singing them songs. Word up. This is for them dudes singing them songs. This is what we got, man. Yo, so it's about that time of the night, and I'm just like trying to figure out where I want to go with it. You know what I mean? So we're gonna figure it out real quick. Oh snap! My bad, because we started out that way. I totally lost out. Anyway, let's do it like this. Take it from the top. Take it from the top. This moment in Black history. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? With June being Gay Pride Month, because I'm not going through the letters. I'm sorry, y'all. And Black Music Month. I figured I'd hit y'all off with a double piece right here, with a 2-piece. You know what I'm saying? A 2-for-1 joint. Remember when they used to sell mixtapes? Man, first of all, y'all, if y'all like, yo, these dudes don't know nothing about hip-hop until they even had to go to their favorite spot where they were selling mixtapes and just look at the book. Look at the book, check out the cover, check out the name, look at least side A's lineup. You ain't even worry about side B. What side A lineup look like? And be like, yo, I want that. $10. $10 for a tape. But $25 for 3. The math never added up, but I'm gonna tell you one thing, man. I will roll up in there with 50 and come out with 6 and be straight. And then the thing is, I wouldn't even get it from the same dude. I get one from here, and then I go up the other spot, because then you realize some DJs didn't have everything. I mean, some spots didn't have all the DJs. Some spots had local DJs. Some people had this and that. But it was just wild, though, right? That was just a piece of the game. You know what I'm saying? But, yo, we gonna do it like this. This is how we get down. And, I don't even know what I was talking about. Wow. Anyway, what we gonna do is set it off with some music history first, and then we'll slide into the Gay Pride stuff. So with this piece, I want to tell y'all, this is the part that's crazy right here. What we're gonna talk about is this crazy connection between Def Jam and the Juice Crew. I know, it sounds crazy, but it is what it is. So let me tell y'all like this. First of all, the first Juice Crew, it was like, whether y'all know it or not, it was just a group of friends who hung out, and it was like, yo, with just a group of friends, they came up with a group called, it was actually called the Something Else Crew. It was like, yo, they called themselves it was like one of them joints where they were just homies, and they were the Fever Crew. And then Mr. Magic back then called himself Sir Juice, which then it became the Juice Crew. This is the first Juice Crew. Here's the part that's beautiful about the first Juice Crew. The first Juice Crew consisted of Melly Mel, Grandmaster Flash, Houdini, Curtis Blow. What? Come on, man. Y'all ain't understanding what I'm talking about. Like, that was the first Juice Crew. Gangsters. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, alright, cool. Then you look over and you check out the whole thing over here at Def Jam. Now, I'm kind of not really so much Def Jam, but Russell Simmons. You know what I'm saying? Russell Simmons has this joint where he's like, I got Curtis Blow. He ends up rocking with Curtis Blow. We all know the history. He ends up rocking with Curtis Blow. Gets Curtis Blow on the major label. First time a rapper has ever been on a major label. While he's doing all this, there's a guy named Rick Rubin on the cut who makes the label called Def Jam. Has a rock album out there. Not so much an album, like an EP or, you know what I'm saying? I think it's like 4 to 5 songs. It's on YouTube somewhere. You can go check it out. It's wild, right? This joint is popping. Time goes on. He gets his brothers, Russell and them, they get on Profile. Starts working with Rick Rubin to get the label popping. They get the label popping. T-La Rock. Y'all know the joint. T-La Rock, one of the first artists on Def Jam, one of the more popular artists on Def Jam. Now, going back over here to Queens. A brother by the name of Marley Marl is out here making little, I guess what you would call them, not back in the day, they weren't disc records, they were called answer records. So he's making answer records to everything. Sucker MCs had a answer record called Sucker DJs. UTFO has their joints. Roxanne, we all know where that went. That just became a whole nother level. While he's doing this, he's also DJing for Mr. Magic at the radio station. That's now becoming the new Juice Crew. Roxanne Shante, MC Sheen are now part of the new Juice Crew. And during this point, let's fast forward a little bit. Hey, like 87, LL drops the second album. Def, you know what I'm saying? The Def album, the bad album, you know what I'm saying? Word Up, Bigger and Defer. Kills it. I Need Love is a massive hit. I'm Bad is a massive hit. I Need Love is a bigger hit. So now, LL already showed he was what the label, he is the anchor, he is the starship, he is the main appeal to the Def Jam label. On the other side, Marley Marl is killing him with these productions. Russell Simmons is mad at Rick Rubin and everybody else that does beats, Battle Cat and all of them, and he's like, yo, what is this dude doing in his crib that y'all are not doing in all this lavishness of a studio? That's where the beef starts coming in at. Anyway, then we all know who the Juice Crew got. The Juice Crew has some of the illest MCs in the game are under the Juice Crew, for one. Some of the illest MCs in the game found themselves connected to Marley Marl and his production. Whether it's true or not about Said G stealing, you know what I'm saying, the drums when Marley Marl bounced out the studio and KRS-One and them, but that connection of Mr. Magic dissing KRS-One gives us Boogie Down production that we know. Not only that, Rakim does some joints at Marley's house. Back then when Marley was like, yo, this dude is corny. Shan claims he was basically working with him because Shan was like, yo, this dude is phenomenal. He kind of giggled too, but he was like, yo, let the dude do his thing, not knowing that was the future. Bam, still, we talking what, Def Jam. We talking Juice Crew. Fast forward a little faster, a little more. LL drops the Panther album. It's a boo, because the game done changed. Now the game is all about that Marley Marl sound. First and foremost, everybody was out here jacking Marley Marl sound. Bomb Squad even admits we took a whole, like that was our inspiration for, you know what I'm saying, doing the chemical creation for joints. It was like, all right, cool. Big Daddy Kane is a big thing. G-Rap is a big thing. Master Ace is on the horizon. Granddaddy IU was on the horizon. Biz Markie is that thing. Roxanne Shante, MC Shan. He was hot till KRS-One completely killed him, but point was, he was that dude at one point. There was that time where it wasn't nothing hotter than MC Shan. Point is, Marley Marl, his sound is here. What LL was doing, the sound is there. He meets LL and go, yo, I got a remix for a record of yours. Check this out. LL goes, nah, forget just let me hear it. I want to do the whole joint over. I like that beat. That joint is jiggling, baby. Go ahead, baby. It's jiggling, baby. Go ahead, baby. We know what that is. That joint takes on a whole nother life of its own. Now, fast forward a little more. Everything's getting kind of shaky over there with Cold Chillin' Records. Don't know what's going on. People are getting kind of funky with the money. Biz Markie out here beefing with Marley Marl about certain ideas and credits and stuff and all this and all that. Everything is kind of crazy. Big Daddy Kane ain't working with him as much anymore. Blah, blah. All this is jumping off. But what is dope is LL and Shan end up connected. And they drop one of the greatest albums out of all time. Mama Said Knock You Out. They record a couple of joints. Def Jam, they walk up in the lab. Def Jam is like, because again, Russell has issues. Because Russell, he can't understand what the thing, like, Russell wanted Def Jam to be like the hip-hop Motown. You know what I'm saying? He wanted to have the best artists, to do the best thing, and all that, and your flagship star, your superstar. LL before Jay-Z, before Kanye, was the only guy holding it down sales-wise over there in Def Jam. Let's keep it real on that. So now you get the joint, and he go like, yo, check it out. We ain't gonna pay nobody nothing. Work on the album, and then we'll talk about numbers when the album done. So they on pro bono. Marley Marl and LL give the world Mama Said Knock You Out. Bring it back. They like it. They pay my man his money. The connection is beautiful. History, man. Juice Crew, Def Jam 2. Matter of fact, for those who know, y'all know, the Juice Crew Cold Chillin' Records was right there with Def Jam for a hot minute. It's just, like I said, the business wasn't right all the time over there in Cold Chillin' on Warner Brothers, so things went funky. But for those who know, y'all remember we was out here copping a lot of Juice Crew joints just as much as we was copping them Def Jam joints. That was it. Like everybody, like we talking, Def Jam had Public Enemy, APMD was getting ready to get over there, Nice and Smooth was getting ready to get over there, Slick Rick was rocking, Nikki D was rocking, Orange Juice Jones, you know what I'm saying? I saw you and him. That joint was rocking. Come on, man. Third Base was rocking. Def Jam was official. And then again, you like I said, you got Big Daddy, G-Rap, Master Ace, Roxanne Shante. They was always competing. Quick little hipstery moment for black music. Boom, 2 powerful labels. You know what I mean? But anyway, let's get into the real joint. And this one right here is a doozy. This is some joint I really want to salute on right here. This is about Lucy Hicks Anderson, who was born back in the day as, you know what I'm saying, was born out there in Kentucky. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, yo, nobody understood what was going on with this right here. This is before the whole concept of transgender. It was like, yo, my man, not my man, Shorty, because we're going to keep it respectful. Shorty came into the game. She did her thing. Was born as Tobias Lawson. And at some point, even as a little girl, would just dress up in dresses and go to school when they was out there down south. You know what I'm saying? And doing their thing. They moved from one spot out there in Kentucky and then they moved to Texas. You know what I'm saying? At some point in life, she goes to California. She gets married. You know what I'm saying? She's married. That relationships last for a while. Then she gets married again to another dude. This dude is in the military. You know what I'm saying? So, what's going on now is you got the courts going, oh, nah, because the courts found out that, this was born a man. This is a dude. The courts are out here like, yo, they sued her. It was like, yo, we are not giving you no money. In 1945, had to catch out with the whole situation. Like somebody said they caught a venereal disease, and that was how the whole joint hit off. Like, yo, you was born a dude, and they was like, we gonna stop all this money you getting. We gonna do a lot of stuff, and check this out. It ain't none of that popping off no more. She was married twice. You know what I'm saying? We ain't even talking about any of that, and I'm just saying, it is what it is. And her one husband, who was in the military, gets money. He's gone. He's passed. The money comes to her. The courts were trying to stop that, saying that it was basically perjury because she lied on marriage certificates, lied about a lot of things, lied to a lot of people, and all this and that. Had to, at some point, leave Ventura and go out there to LA, where she lived the rest of her life as a socialite. But yo, this is a wild story. Again, this is like back in the late 18s, going into the 1900s. Nobody knew anything about all this, you know what I'm saying, the sign, the birth, trend, you know what I'm saying? Nobody was like, yo, I was, you know what I mean? I want to identify as, it was, yo, this is what it was. And it probably was brand new, but at the same time, if you ever look back at a lot of this history, it's a lot of people who was doing it. This joint was actually going down way back in the day. You know what I'm saying? There's some kings who were cross-dressers back in the day. We talking kings back in the monarchy days. You know what I'm saying? We got like Greek and Roman type dudes who was out here doing what they was doing. So it's not brand new. It is what it is. But that's the Black History moment. Please look up Lucy Hicks Anderson. Please check out the whole story with Def Jam, Juice Crew, Warner Brothers, Cold Chillin'. It's a whole lot of dope little history of music. You know what I'm saying? This is how we get down. This is what we do. I don't even know. I feel bad because I'm like, yo, I ain't know where I was going to go with that. But now I'm like, I done talked all that Cold Chillin' and Juice Crew and Def Jam. I'm like, yo, you know what I got to do, y'all. Y'all know what you got to do. We got to play some LL, at least some LL. We got to get y'all that. It's jingling, baby. Go ahead, baby. Because that right there was the joint that pieced everything together. So we gonna do it like this. Word up. Let's go. My bad. Hey, I got zoned out. I started looking up at the time. I'm like, oh, I gotta stop. Hold on. Anyway, man, you know how we do hip-hop. Set out in the dark. They used to do it up in the parks. It don't matter whether Brooklyn or the Bronx. Queens, Staten Island, where it's born. Yo, y'all know where it was from? I'm playing anyway. Let me stop. Let me do what we do. And I'ma holler at y'all Wednesday. I don't even know what we gonna do Wednesday. But Wednesday is Wonder Year Wednesday time. It's summertime. Ooh, I might just go in like my new edition bag. Be out here doing my little new edition steps. We talking old Ralph Tresvant joint with the shag and the crooked tooth. Remember them joints? Chicks was out here like, ooh, Ralph is so cute. Bobby's so cute. Ooh. Man, you like, all right, whatever, man. You know what I'm saying? I can do that. You is love. Why? I can do that. You ain't saying nothing, girl. What you talking about? Ooh, my big secret. I can do that. You ain't saying nothing, girl. I got a little two-step on here. What you talking about? Anyway, man, I might take it there, do some drill and vert. You know what I mean? We gonna do what we gonna have fun. You know what I'm saying? Won't be all hip hop, but we gonna do what we do. So let me get ready to get up out of here and chill out. You know what I'm saying? And listen to some dope music, cause the station be killing. So let me get up out of here and let's do like this. Alright, we're going like this. They say you only live once. That's a lie. You only die once. So anytime that your God allows you to get out here and continue your journey, please show the world the best version of you. Y'all be safe. Peace.
This is a Soul of Art presentation.